So, perspective for beginners, part 2. So, in the first video, in the first tutorial, was talking about linear perspective. It's like most basic beginners perspective. It's like 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective. And yeah, then when we go further, we start to talk about curvilinear perspective. And here, first, I'll explain principles on which this curvilinear perspective is based. It's kind of why is it curvilinear? Like, what is the reason of it? And it's very important to understand all this mechanic, understand all these principles of how perspective works, because once you really understand it, then you will never forget it, kind of. So you will keep forgetting it, you will keep frustrated with perspective unless you really understand how it works. And of course, for this you need to practice. That's why in the first tutorial I give you homework, and you must do this homework. Like, write your comment under this video, under first tutorial. Write your comment, like honest. Be honest, say like, did you do homework or not? And what kind of your feeling about homework? Like, do you see result or not? It should be very useful and really helpful. So, curvilinear perspective. First of all, yeah, you need to understand perspective in general. It's a subjective thing. Like when we talk about horizon line, vanishing points, it's not something physically exists in the real world. It's not actually exist. It's kind of these things appears for us because it's how our brain and visual perception works. So let's say like we have like limited field of view, we have cone of vision. So let's say a limited vision, I mean, is like we cannot see like through space like 5,000 light years in front, right? So we have this like about couple kilometers, maybe, I don't know, like never check it actually, like this point where we just cannot see after anymore. So in this point is like this farthest area of our visual perception. It's called horizon line, so this kind of point, which is spread like endless amount of this kind of points spread on your eye level. So it's like whatever you look, you will see where is your limit of vision, your farthest distance your eye can see. So it's not an objective horizon line. It's not exist anywhere in the real world. It just shows you your limit of your vision system. So, and it's kind of that's why also all objects, they kind of infinitely going smaller, and unless they will like shrink into dot on this line, right? So it's like all these visuals, they shrinks into this illusion of a horizon line. So, and this is something like distant, right? It's something like outside our head. It's like outer world, and there is another thing is very interesting, like rarely mentioned, but is something like what has happened inside our head, which is also connected with this outside three-dimensional world. And its idea of 3 dimensions. it's a kind of form of 3D space. It exists like within our head, you know. So it's not even in a space. It's already kind of in our head. Like if our head is a box, like we have front side, we have back of our head, we have top, we have bottom, we have left and right, right? So uh, it's already here, and we keep just feeling it this way. You cannot escape from it. We have this clear idea. So, and also, it's when we apply like a different way to look at it, this is actually like two core um, aspect kind of it. One is, like I say, it's a box. And second, it's a sphere. Sphere is like when you want to be more precise, and you talk about angles, right? It's not just front and back, but you talk about degree, about angle, like maybe there's like diagonal, like between front and left, on a which degree, kind of which angle, right? So in this kind of moment when we start to be want to start to be care about precision, about like precise directions, like in either way, right? It's then when we start to talk about this spherical property of this 3D space. So to be able to be precise, you need to have this kind of sphere, and we have this kind of sphere is like in our head, and at the same time, like I say, with the horizon line, it's also kind of like just present whole visual space which kind of walk together with us. Like if I'm sit here on a chair, and here is kind of this sphere around me, right? And this box, and this, like my eye level on my head is my eyes, right? And at the same time it's horizon line, all this space around my visible area. Then I go to airport, I go into airplane, and now I fly somewhere in the sky, and everywhere I go, I carry this visual sphere. And this visual sphere is something like it's more than just a visible sphere. It's like concept, and this concept of reality, of visual reality, which my brain constructs. So it's like if we take this guy. So it's very funny actually. Like when I read anatomy book, Bames, um, and he talk about all these functions of body and body elements and muscles and stuff. Oh, hello, Chaiti. Yeah. So um, and there is like, you know, about all this, like why we have rib cage, how legs work, functions of each muscle, and all these joints. And then it's like eventually everything is like leads to points is like our brain, it's most essential element for our body is like just structurally, because like we have all perception organs around our brain, like eyes, ears, smell. That's like directly in our brain, because like we need to protect it. And only kind of natural weapon is our teeth, our jaw, with the most strong muscle. It's like strongest muscle. If we have like other bigger muscles, jaw muscle, it's the strongest one. So we only weapon we actually have, it's right also near to our brain. So, and then all our anatomy is kind of like a mobile system, and also like some kind of um, like a battery, you know, like supply and moving system kind of for our head, basically. So that's why it's all so much. kind of, it's so amazing, all this. So here we have our head, right? And like I say, it's like all 3D spaces already in the head. And then we have this like back, front, left, right, top, and bottom. Like bottom will be kind of like right under, like maybe let's say like about our legs here. So then it's like this will be equally distributed like this. So this is like this subjective eye level also is a horizon line. So this eye level, okay, horizon line. So, and then, yeah, it's like I say, we have this here to show like how change direction of your view vertically. And this one show like how change direction of your view horizontally, kind of. So, and we have a visual cone of vision, right? Like at this cone of vision, it's have focus in the center. It's like very small area with a focus where we can see details, like under this reference I get. So it's like vertically, it's about, let's say, if I head here, so vertically it doesn't reach our bottom and top, so I cannot see even peripherally. I cannot see even in a blur image what has happened like above me and below me. I need to move my head down or up to see what is above. So it's like vertically it's very narrow, but horizontally it's actually goes a little farther than my left and right. So it's like my periphery vision, you can experiment with your hands. It's like can notice my hands on the left like little farther here. So it's kind of interesting moment. So it's like say they say this on a, it's like 200 or 220 degrees. So and this also what talk about all this kind of vision. It's like yeah, we talk about like, oh, we actually see fish eye, but in reality we cannot see details with this 220 or 200 degree. Like actual detail vision very narrow. It's like, you know, it's like conus like this here. So, and all this rest of a visible cone of vision, visible field of view is very blur, and like farther from center it goes, more blur it's became. Something like this. You see. So basically, it's like it's became so blur that we actually don't see any kind of, almost we don't see anything. We just notice movement. So like as a priority, our brain say like we don't need to see exactly what is it. We just need to notice if there is something moves, and also basic on a context, basic on a what kind of situation you are right now. Your brain will make conclusion. So and this happen is amazingly how fast our brain works and how organized it is. Like you don't notice it, but if you will like spend some time to kind of um like explore or study on how your perception works and how your brain construct your experience of space and like your visual experience, You will notice this. So for example, like here I'm sitting in the house, right? So I have very clear idea like what is behind me, what is all the stuff surrounding me, because I've been spending so much time here. I was walking around observing all this, like with my narrow vision. I look, see, okay, here is table, here is teapot, here is a cup or refrigerator, all this stuff, right? So now when I sit, I have kind of all this map in my brain. So and I even can track like where is the exactly which angle, like where is the door, where is the window, where is the refrigerator. Same like you walk in the street, like you see here is the road, zebra, you walk zebra, and then maybe like you see something moving behind, right? Like in your peripheral vision, you see something moves, and you see in your brain also like, okay, there is a people, or it's a vehicle, or is somebody on a bicycle. You kind of your brain already like start to guess what is might be. Like if you in a jungle, I don't know, like in the mountain, it's like your brain's like, wait a second, like I was walking, there was no people. And then if something moves, maybe it's a wild animal or like somebody like some tourist like me, like just jump from a jungle, like following you, something like this. So you start to kind of predict and conclude like what is might be. It's kind of very interesting, right? So this is to understand my point. This is very cool. Like I'd never hear somebody mention it. As I want just you to keep it in mind that basically we have whole this sphere all the time. It's like we have like visual idea of all this like 360 space around you, like where is ground, where is like all this stuff, because you can turn any moment and you already kind of know where you're turned to. You know there is was some like 7-Eleven, you turn towards this 7-Eleven, so it's kind of you have directions in the map in your head. um, and here also what I'm talking about, it's about this priority hierarchy of visual perception. Like in the center, we have this like very narrow vision with details, which we use something like kind of like a um, flashlight in the night, right? You kind of like you want to see details, so you point this flashlight and you like reveal exactly details, kind of. Then we have this peripheral vision, which is like not about details, but it's just about some kind of control of a surrounding. This give you like general idea for better control of your environment. And then we have all this like space outside of your like real-time vision, which is based on like kind of uh, moments, previous seconds of your observation. It's kind of, it's already like a static, it's already memory, but it's here, kind of you're inside this visual space. So, and back to perspective, like I say, this, what is perspective about? It's about how to show this space on a flat surface, how to show this space on a paper or on a screen if you work digitally. And all these ways, all these methods to show the space, yeah, it's just like inventions, or like how we trying to translate it, how to even like trying to make like interpretation or metaphor of it. So it's never like absolute correct to this. Like it's never 100% like exact way to do this, because it's so much subjective, and actually it's just like conventions which you need to learn. It's like if you want to write story, like adventure story, you learn, you study adventure story conventions, so you know how to write it, right? You want a detective story, write detective story conventions. You draw perspective, study perspective conventions, not like some real stuff in the real world, but something like just help you to be into this field of creative field, so you can be also a kind of one of these artists. So when we talk about linear perspective in the first tutorial for beginners, linear perspective deals with this narrow cone of vision. So if we take like, when we talk about this whole sphere, when you convert it on to this space, it will look like this. Let's say, yeah. So let's say like this. So we have this top point, vanishing point, bottom vanishing point. So this top and bottom. Then we have this on the left vanishing point, on the right vanishing point. You see this one. 4 vanishing points. And we have this in the center vanishing point, the vanishing point. So when we transfer this front visible kind of sphere, half of sphere on the paper, it looks like this 5-point perspective circle. And you see we have this like curvilinear curves going from X and Y vanishing points. So why perspective is linear in a 1 point, 2 point, 3 point perspective? It's because it takes small area from this field of view. And like, just notice here, like when you take small area, curvature of these lines became like very like it's like almost not present. I don't know like how to phrase it. You know, it's like it's so subtle. This curvature, it became very subtle. So if I say this 2-point perspective, so here you see we have like vertical can be like this, like almost not visible curvature, and this X can be like this. So curvature here is so subtle that is for convenience it's simplified to straight lines, or even it can be if you make it even smaller area, so there will be like literally like straight lines. So first of all, one of element of this linear perspective is that is deals with a very small part of your visual field. This like small cone of vision, kind of narrow vision area. Like I show here, if we talk from whole this 180 space, it will be like this small part. Like 1-point perspective is like here and right in the center. 3-point perspective, yes, will be like here. Let's say if I transfer it to, maybe it will be more clear. So say X. So yeah, here is like, it might be curved, but it's so subtle. So it's more for convenience, it's just make it linear. So, and second aspect, it's this simplification for convenience. And then it's like kind of became more like very much abstract ideas than represent an actual reality. We cannot see so much strong angles in a linear perspective. Like if you will look in a real life, but you or you will see it's like curved, or they are very like like a long lens, and they have like very small convergence. So yeah, so here it's kind of like a placement of this 3 point. Like maybe I will draw for simplification. So here is like y, here it's like this, and okay, kind of this so straight lines because it's narrow part of this field of view. And then when we talk about curvilinear perspective, so you see it's the same hemisphere here of a front part of visual field, but we just take like a bigger part of it. So we start to include inside these vanishing points, like you see, like for example, this one. So we have like a z vanishing point together with x vanishing point, and we have this curvature, or we can have like 3 vanishing points, this zenith, nadir, and z vanishing point in our image. Or we even can take whole this whole this visual field of a front half of a visual sphere. So we just deal with a much bigger part of this visual field. We want to transfer this visual field into paper much bigger, so not like this narrow small part here. So also it's funny here, let's say, also notice about visual field. So yeah, like I say, actual detailed view is only very small, but today why we start to see this fisheye detailed views is because we have this like fisheye cameras, right? So no, let's say like this. So here fisheye camera, and this fisheye camera like have record video of all this 360 view, like in every direction, like and then this camera by cable send you this video on your screen on the monitor. So you sit here. And you, with your cone of vision, with your narrow field of view, you watch all this 360 sphere view on a screen. So you see all these details from all this 360 perspective. Because it's small on a screen, kind of, it's narrowed down and you can put it in your detailed vision, right? So it's like we have this like small picture or a screen with image from camera, like this one, for example. So here I find some security camera. So what you see, it's this edge of this circle. It's a horizon line. It's a camera level or eye level, right? So all this around it's a horizon line. So it's literally it's like half, like exactly half of a visual sphere. And then you see, you never can see it so much detailed by yourself. And then we can see also like how it's program can divide it in a different flat visuals. So it's one camera, and then we have like I was showing with the perspective. You can take parts. So let's say this one, it's here, right? So it look here, it's look like 3-point perspective. You see, because it's take part of it. So you just like simplify this curvature into straight lines, and it became 3-point perspective. This and this one. So the elements, these like small pieces from this half of a sphere, they're all in with this size, with this proportion. They're 3-point perspective. And when we see all this like detailed fish eye, yeah, we get this from a camera and a screen on our computers. That's why we start to see it this way. Uh, So next, like it's so you see, it's like just so many details, but eventually it will be very easy for you. You just need to first to put all this in on your shelf in your brain, and then it will be easy. Так. So then, so we talk about how to project, how to make this 3D perception into 2D surface, right? So, and this how it works. So, like I show you, this it's a map of this front sphere with a little like longer, like so. It's also takes little this part. So on another video, I will talk about like full sphere, how to draw full sphere, which is 6-point perspective, and it's like rarely neat. It's not so important. Mostly we deal with this front half of a sphere, and sometimes like little excess like this. And to show this excess, it's you draw like these lines. Let me show here maybe. Yes, I hope it's clear. So this front sphere on a 2D surface look like this. It's just circle. Then we have this vertical and horizontal. So this like became left point, this right point, this top point. You already know from first video, it's called zenith. Bottom point, vanishing point called nadir. And this kind of direction here, it's this z vanishing point. So this is in a 2D projection of this front sphere. And then we need to show like intermediate these directions, and this how it works. You see, like on an eye level, like I was talking about this eye level horizon line, right? Imagine it's like a flat surface which goes like into like until it's just disappear from your vision, right? So it's like this flat level, like then when you if you move your direction of your vision, right? So like you look above your eye level, and like here it's 45 degree above. So what happened, right? You see, it's like in this sphere of vision, this your like this like a surface moves, rotates angularly like that. So you see, it's made this kind of like section cut, like a slicing like whoosh, your spherical field of view. And on a 2D projection, this slice will look like a curve. You see? And so this, for example, this is like 45 angle slice, like when you look 45 degree. And this one is like, I don't know, 25, about something 25. So when is your, if when you move your direction of vision, like 25, it's like, probably, probably we can say it's like you move your eyes up, just kind of technically, right? So we can call it like you keep head still and you move your eyes up when it's 45. It creates this kind of slice. So you see, right? It's like here it's flat like this. When it move up here, we get this kind of slice. And when we transfer this curvature of the slice on a 2D, we get this curved line. And then when you can like draw all these different levels, like 45, 22, and 65 angles. So you will get this curved. And then you can subdivide it on more and more precise intermediate kind of degrees, right? So this is just explains why it's curved, why they're not straight. Same on bottom here. Like it's for x, and same for vertical. So if vertically, it's like this vertical slice, which is look on a zero angle, it's look like just almost like invisible laser slice here. And if you like rotate, like maybe turn your eyes on the left, you will get, let's say, here kind of direction of your vision, right? So this will create this vertical slice. And this vertical slice will be kind of this um, curve into 2D projection. And same with the other direction. Just for example, let's say look here. So this slice, like in 3D, it look like this. In 2D, kind of this. So same, you just find all this. It can be precise, like a 45 angle, like if it's in a half here, So you make us like 45 angle. But I will not cover all this like precision with the angles right now, because like it's not for beginners. At least I just explain you principles here. And all this like super precision, it's more advanced, because you will screaming. It was like, so many details, like we want to draw, and you tell us the numbers. You tell like 2 + 2 = 4. Like you want to explode our brain. It's too much math. It's like we just want to draw and don't tell us about math here. Yes, so just explain this, right? So, and this, like if I draw on a 3D projection, like here isometry, right? Z-axis look like this because it's projection. Because it's projection. So we have these parallel lines moving forward, right? Like they're parallel. Because it's projection, is not point of vision. It's not his point of view. In a point of view, these are parallel depth lines. They will converge into one point, and this point is here. Is like it's in his, like, I don't know, like between your eyes, kind of, let's say, right? So, and this like laser kind of between your eyes going towards end of your visual field. Like I say, it's a horizon line, right? So on this 2D projection, horizon line, it's this one. So this horizon line, or your eye level, goes through 3 vanishing points: X on the left, X on the right, and this Z vanishing point in the center. So this your Z vanishing point. This is like intersect kind of horizon line. It's your Z vanishing point here. So, and from your vision, from this point of view, this Z lines, they not seems parallel. They converge into this Z vanishing point. So this is a structure for this projection of a visual, like front part of a visual field, visual sphere on a 2D. So this will be like one part of this homework for you. It's to draw this sphere, this half of sphere on 2D. So I will draw a couple more times for you to make it clear. So, and you draw here, I show you sequence. So you like go to this part of a video and follow me if it's you never draw this before. So just follow this sequence I will show you. You can use like some circle. You can use like, I don't know, cup, some circular thing to make perfect circle, or you can just make freehand circle. So first it's a circle, then you make cross going through circle, make it little longer. Then you find like this cross should be in the center. If it's not perfect center, if it's not perfectly subdivided, it's fine. But just for practice, maybe you try to make it perfect. So then you have these 5 vanishing points. So you also remind yourself what is this vanishing point. So it's Z for depth, top Y vanishing point zenith, bottom Y vanishing point nadir, left X, right X vanishing point. So also, yeah, make sure you understand this. Left X, right X, it's the same line. It's like a horizontal line. It's same line. It's not like one line and other line. No, it's a one line. And then it's became curved, like when it's go below, like I say. When we talk about 2-point perspective, we talk about the z and x. This two vanishing point perspective, 2-point perspective, it's z and x. It's not left x and right x. So make it really clear for yourself. So this box, when you draw it, on the left, it's z vanishing point. On the right, it's x vanishing point. Because if you draw it's like this in a fish eye perspective, it go like this. It's go from x to x. You got what I mean, right? So then you draw this. It's like to show conversion of this z-axis. Then you can show, like, for practice also to can start to teach you angles. So this in the middle here, it will be like 45-degree. So you make y-axis go like this, x-axis go like this. And then this is bonus for you, because it will be moments when is important. So I show you it right now. Y-axis, this vertical line. Here, when it goes through z vanishing point, it's a straight line. Then when it's go like with the 45 angle, like I say, like it's when you move your head or like move your eyes, maybe more precise, like you move your eyes on a 45-degree on the left. So it will make y-axis vertical lines will start to curve like this. Then it go like more curved. Eventually, it became this like a half circle curvature, right? So it's like half circle curvature here. But when we start to go like farther than 180-degree, like beyond this front sphere, right? It will behave like this. So even like can draw it freehand like this, no big deal. So what happened is like you just notice this moment. It's like it's open like that. So it's make kind of, I don't know, like a slice of apple, maybe you can call it, or like moon, right? So it has this kind of little moving up from here, and it just kind of continues this curvature. And here, what is happen also I mention a lot is like from this vanishing point, we have this straight line, right, which is continuous direction of this straight line. And here we have this quarter circle line. Then you, to make here all this gradient perspective grid, you kind of make transition from this curve line to this straight line. And when you have space, like here I have space, right? I can make it like all through until it go back to nadir. If I don't have space, I will just draw this transition. You see? You see what I'm talking about? So it's like this curve transition to straight line. So you do it also on the bottom, and you do it on the right. So if I have space, I can kind of continue draw it this way. You see? So I don't know, hope it's not like mind-blowing here or anything. Should be fine. And this one, without drawing here like vehicles, people, dogs, cats, and like alien invasion. Just draw this perspective grid. It's very easy. Just do it. So like I show you, and do it like, okay, let's say for homework, do it 20 times for this homework, and write me in the comments. So don't write me like private messages, like thank me and stuff. Like, do homework and write me in the comments under YouTube video. Write me like, yeah, you like video, you do homework, and you learn a lot. And just do it like I did it like hundred times, like more than 100 times. Just like you sit here like, okay, cross, okay, so we have like this vanishing points, this axis go like that. Then, so this is y go like this, y go like this, then is x. So yeah, same x here will be same like y. X same like y. Because like you see they're mirroring each other, right? So they have same behavior. So here is you're doing like woo. From this point go like this. Woo. Look like this. And then there's the vanishing point. Like, and it can be like as many as I want. So this is very, 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 very useful for you. Very important exercise. And it's very easy. Very easy. Like first 10 maybe will be confusing for you. Like oh, what's so difficult? I think for beginners this should be easy. I say no, no, it's not. It should be doable, right? So I make it so beginner can understand what I'm talking about if he can do it. And you can do it. You can do it this circle with the lines. Jesus Christ, you can draw it. You don't need to be genius for this. So do it. And then after write to me. Don't write me like you like this video or you happy and thank me if you don't draw homework. Then you don't understand anything. Because this what I'm talking you about. I talking you all this to make you practice. If you don't draw what I tell you to draw, don't write me message. Forget about me and forget about drawing because it's hopeless. You will never learn anything if you don't follow recommendations because it's always a point. It's a follow my recommendations kind of, you know. I don't tell you like draw my face kind of, you know, like draw my portraits and like send me money or anything. No, just do this practice. Just it's like super respect from me. It's like I talk with you like with grown up and kind of like discipline enough to be able to draw circles and straight lines, right? So this is your first part of the homework. Draw 20 of these things. Так. Then, uh, yeah, then let's break it for madness here. Madness.
Madness. This is Keyboard Art.
Так. So then, yeah, I can just show you each of this thing. Так. So, yeah, let's see. You can do it. So, if like with, like I was saying in the first tutorial, like 1 point perspective is this z vanishing point in the center. So this like radiating lines towards z vanishing point. And horizontal and vertical, right? So you see, like I say, it's like if we draw like a very small space inside here, we have this exactly like 1 point perspective box. But in curvilinear, it's just I take bigger part of the space, so I get this curvilinear box because like in a bigger part of field of view, y-axis became curved, and so x-axis it's curved. So if you practice drawing this structure of this 5 point perspective grid, it's it's not just practice of this particular perspective grid. It's make you your brain more trained to comprehend perspective in general. You will just be much better with perspective just by doing this simple thing, you know. And also it's how you practice also your hand accuracy, and because obviously you see it's this kind of like it's like a very advanced line warm up for you. You can make it as warm up like before draw something like draw a couple of this uh, 5 point perspective grids. So if you also like if you read Scott Robertson book, he has this like for super beginners, he has this exercise of drawing straight lines, drawing curves from point to point, and it's like very fast. It became very easy and boring, right? So as advanced next level exercise for your hand, for your line like muscle accuracy and stuff, it's a drawing these grids is you killing like many birds and snakes and whatever in one with one stones. Just by doing this, it's change your brain, make you like more like you start to handle perspective more confidently just by doing this. So here you see is like one first kind of curvilinear perspective grid. It's like this 1 point perspective grid. So it's just like 1 point perspective we had before. We just make it more bigger space from field of view, and we get curvilinear perspective grid. So this is horizon line, and this is z vanishing point. So then if we talk about 2 point perspective, like I say, again, it's normal if you will confuse couple times. I confuse so many times with this, like keep forgetting it, like it's so obvious, it's so simple, but it's really like sometimes like you're like and you confuse because again, not enough practice. After you practice a lot, just make it many times, it will like clearly engraved in your head. 2 point perspective, it's a z vanishing point plus x vanishing point. Z and x. So if we have it like in this kind of curvilinear scenario, right? So we deal with this sphere. So we have z is kind of you can draw like as many as you want, and same with x can be as many as you want. So, and box here will look like this. And I also understand your inertia. All this, like everybody have this inertia, you know, like you see it and you're like, oh, I'm so much want to be a good artist. I want to improve my perspective. I will do everything to be best artist in the world. I just need somebody to explain. Just explain me how to do this. Tell me secret. And then, yeah, here is information for you. Here is the secret, right? And I tell you exactly what to do. It's not just like some theory. I tell you, do this. I explain you why it's important. I tell you like how many times to do. And then your brain say, yeah, okay. And do nothing. It's like, what? What's wrong with you? Like, why you was like kind of telling yourself all the stuff, how much it's important, and then here is here is for you. Do this stuff, and your brain like, bah, okay, yeah, sure. That's weird. So everybody actually have this, and it's just up to you how you react on this stuff. Like, are you so kind of I don't know, like soft and reluctant, or you will like, wait a second, will not slack on it, and I will really do something to make it better. It's just it's a sin to ignore good advice, you know, because after it's totally your fault if you not improve and stuff like that. So you cannot tell anymore yourself that you're actually want achieve anything. Так. So let's say like this. Так, so in here I can drop some more y-axis. Let's draw some more boxes. So this kind of perspective grid for 2-point perspective. And let's maybe find 3-point. No, I do one more. So and a 3-point. Let's do 3-point. Yeah. So also can show you here, see again. So this X go like that, go like that. You also notice how I can be like not super accurate, and it's fine. And it's also like what you learn through practice. You learn kind of, I don't know, like this extent on which it's okay to make mistake, like a level of space for a failure, kind of how much space you have for making a failure. Oh, kind of this. And can show you for vertical again. So have this y-axis, and then you start to go like this. Also, you notice, right? Like at the beginning, oh, it's very confusing, very nervous, all these lines. Right now, I can see it all. It's not very confusing. It's kind of, and yeah, actually, like in actual drawing, I will not draw all these lines. It's more like for example and for practice. But also, if I will draw all these lines, I still kind of can see with y-axis, and this is an x-axis. I can separate them. And this happen only after practice. At the beginning, it's always like it will like shook you, you know. It's like, oh, so confusing. So and yeah, 3-point perspective. It's like this 2-point perspective. It's in this area, right? But 3-point is about here, something here. So let's say if I draw box kind of here. And this can be like a bigger box. So I see here. Look through here. You can make them like transparent. So kind of this. Maybe one here. So you see, kind of, right? It's like we have in a linear perspective, we have it's about here, but also it can be here. So it's still kind of like in the area of 3-point perspective, and also like in the bottom, let's say. Okay. Так. Here. So, and this will be, yeah, this is your second part of the homework. It's draw some boxes, you know, again, because like at first to make it less pressure for yourself, also because you need experience. It's like when it seems very easy, right? Because like you might say it might feel for you like this one is very hard, and then drawing box is very easy. totally ignore the stuff. This is a routine. This is training. This is your training. It's like running, right? You run it not because it's some like amazing skill you want to acquire, right? Like oh, very complicated. No, it's like technically it's very easy. You just run kind of, right? And, or if it's there's some specific, you can learn it very fast, I'm sure. It's more about repetition. It's about routine of it, right? So because when you do it long time, many time for a long time, only then it makes sense. It's really reasonable when you make it long and many time. Same with this kind of practice. Like you need to draw these boxes just to kind of like a massage your brain to make yourself adapted for drawing in a curvilinear perspective. Because this is like it's kind of very simplified version of actual task. And when you practice long enough with this kind of just you see just kind of like following axis, right? So we have this z-axis here, y-axis here, z-axis here. So you practice for a while with this, even like when it start to feels like it's too easy, still keep doing it. Keep doing it as a warm-up exercise, do it as like just to wake up or just to uh, I don't know, just for meditation. Just keep doing it like at least 100 times. So for a homework, maybe minimum it's 20 times, right? Like 20 is this kind of perspective grids with the boxes. But to have like a very good result, so you start to see you have like you change and now you're better with perspective, it's 100 times about this. Then it's like really things start to look you start to see how you change. You just start to see like how your perspective will get better just with this simple thing without being like Kim Jong-gi immediately. You just doing simple stuff and you notice you start draw much better, your perspective became much better. So let's say if I frame it like an area here, let's say maybe like this or like this. And here what I mean with this framing also, right? I mean is that what I'm showing you is that you can work in the both directions. You can like draw this kind of stuff after you establish whole this pattern of a half sphere of vision. But in the practice, you will not do it often. It's not a very useful approach because you will only have like this paper size, for example, right? So you don't have all the space to build this circle. So I just show you here like how it works, and I show you like no matter what kind of perspective type, a curvilinear perspective, it's kind of based on the same structure. So behind every curvilinear perspective, it's this pattern of a circle with 5 vanishing points and even like maybe beyond 5 vanishing points with this thing every time. So if you look at it as a piece of paper kind of, right? So you can see it's like after some practice, you will like after some practice, like when you have a piece of paper, it's kind of like you have this 5-point perspective and you can like a projector, you can project it on this paper and you can move it around and say like, oh, I move it here, I move it there. So you can control like what kind of curve line you will have. So it's like if you move it like imagine it's like in your head, it's not on the paper, you just move it like say like this, so you will have this kind of curvilinear perspective. If you move it like this, So it will be like bottom of this sphere, it will be this kind of curvilinear perspective. That's why I say you practice it so it became in your head. So let's say this one, I tell myself, okay, I want this like 1 point perspective or like 2 point perspective or like 3 point perspective. Let's say like maybe like 2 point perspective below horizon line. So it's like little like a 3 point perspective. So, and I imagine like, okay, so the vanishing point behind paper somewhere here. So I don't see actual vanishing point, right? And X vanishing point also outside of paper. So I don't have actual vanishing point. What to do? What to do in this case, right? And what I do is I redrawing this structure from inside. I redraw like in the case when I can't draw all this circle for a 5 point perspective, right? I can start from like inside. It's okay, let's show like, okay, here I have horizon line, right? Then I say like, okay, somewhere there z vanishing point. So I know lines will be convergent towards this z vanishing point. Then I see like x vanishing point there, right? So line will be like curved convergent towards x vanishing point. And above horizon line, it will converge like this. So because I'm already um, kind of very confident and I remember this structure clearly, I don't need to draw like it in exact sequence. I can draw it in any sequence. So now I have this part without drawing it all. And then I say like, yeah, I remember in this structure, if I have somewhere this z vanishing point there, vertical lines, they will also like closer to the vanishing point. Vertical lines, they're like very little curved. And then closer to x vanishing point, it will be like almost like half circle curvature, right? So I need to kind of, let's say, some kind of this maybe, right? And again, it's like I've been like close enough to make it be like this representation of this half of a sphere. So I have now this left and right curvature. Then I draw it in between. That's it. So I redraw fragment of this sphere without drawing whole sphere. You see kind of how it works. So this is your actual understanding of a curvilinear perspective in a fish, no, it's like 5 point perspective in this case. So here I do this, or I can do this here now, right? So like I was telling in the first tutorial, like we have this direction of axis depending on a degree of angle. I show in how far is the z vanishing point. If z vanishing point here, so we will have this kind of angle, right? So it's like a very strong angle here. But if z vanishing point somewhere far, so then I will have something like this. So depend on how far z vanishing point, this will be the degree of axis here. So very far, it will be like this in direction of this perspective grid angle. If it's very close, it will be like this. So what you do when you have horizon line to, so this underneath, to show how far the vanishing point, you make just one line, just one diagonal line, which like will show distance of the vanishing point. And you don't need to make it, you don't need to know exactly, you don't need any measurement. It's just principle how it works. So you understand what is difference, kind of, right? So now only with one line you establish this distance. And now you just draw this transition between this and this, right? So you just drop, you continue this direction. I show it on the first tutorial. If you did homework, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You remember exactly how it works. If you did not homework, now you see it's like, what are you talking about? You know, so that's why it's important to do homework. So Z, we find Z. X, I see like, oh, it can be vanishing point here or outside. For demonstration, I will make it outside. Same approach, but in this case, X is curved. So it's same, it's like angular and curve. Now I establish, so like we can see somewhere here, but if we don't have paper, it will be like close to visual field, right? So and now same, I can just draw in the middle, subdivide it, and I can continue kind of this, and I can more subdivide if I want. Okay, and now like I say, oh, remember, close to the vanishing point, y-axis. It's like almost straight line, and it slowly became more and more curved, more and more curved, until on X it's like half circle. So here we're very close to very strong curvature. So I can like, okay, let's do like this. And here it's like this. So I establish y-axis. So here is perspective grid for this kind of placement of a camera, kind of camera frame within structure of this 5-point kind of front sphere perspective. So and yeah, and then you just draw whatever box or somebody head. So this is what I was showing you here. Okay, so just like principle of how it works. So as a first step, I recommend to draw you like just structure of this. It's like a, consider it as like a symbol, like hieroglyph of this fish eye perspective. It's like most important, essential hieroglyph. Draw it 20 times. Then you can, if you draw this hieroglyph like me here, like very big on the whole paper, then you can directly inside this structure draw some boxes and tell yourself where is the frame. So what kind of perspective? So it's like curvilinear 1-point perspective, or is curvilinear 2-point perspective, or is curvilinear 3-point perspective, right? So you can like put this frame and draw some boxes inside this frame. Following axis. So here you see it became extreme, but as a exercise. Still is good for your brain. You kind of say, move your dementia farther away. So you will be very fresh old person. Just make your brains very fresh. Так, so also, yeah, let's do these boxes. 20 pages. 20 pages like this. So what I mean pages is like you have this perspective grid, full perspective grid on a page, and you draw some boxes there, frame them, and make it 20 times. Minimum, right? So I tell you minimum. If you do it 200 times, it's good, it's great. So, and then you draw about 20 times, starting with a frame. So you make frame first, and then you establish this perspective grid, like kind of recovering only part of this big structure. So let's say here I want to make cross, right? So now we have like different part of this perspective grid inside. So we don't have other vanishing points, but we have the vanishing point inside of frame. Okay, so it's z, y, and x. And just draw some. Yeah, see, it can be is like very easy to draw city, some Spider-Man or cyberpunk. You can do very cool images with this perspective, and you will be like, it will be like very easy, very fluent, very fun after you do this homework. I guarantee you will see immediately after you do like 20 you will see immediately how it's changed your level. And if this for you feels like it's too much work, it means you really draw too little. Because you should train yourself. So drawing this amount of work, it should be very easy. It should be like a very average casual thing. You can like listen some heavy metal to cheer you up, but train yourself to be accustomed to for drawing a lot. And this is not a lot. It's okay. So, and it's better than just drawing anything. This is really beneficial practice. Super beneficial. And you can like even like if you make it like big dunks, you can you know, like subdivide these levels. Or just draw boxes. Так, so 20 of this. There. Okay. And here, just for demonstration, I show you this like 1.2.3 points. And I can show you also this one when we have like together, it's like wide angle perspective, right? So what happened? It's we have this zenith y vanishing point, we have z vanishing point, and we have nadir y vanishing point. And here, here x, x go like that. So I spent plenty of time to prepare for this tutorial, just to make it clearly sequential, so to explain all this stuff. So, and I hope you will do your part and do homework. Okay. And write me in the comments you did homework. So you see, for this wide angle, I just take this big part of this perspective grid. So let's say maybe it can be like outdoor or indoor. So let's say it's like a city against some kind of cyberpunk. Mhm. So here I can even look on the ground. It's kind of street. Can do like even like a flying car. So you just draw boxes for this one. Don't need to draw anything fancy. I just don't know, just having fun drawing this random stuff. Here's some. So every time you see artist draw something like this, it's because he drew before a lot of this stuff. So just I wanted to be very, very clear that draw many times is a very core of learning, very core of getting to fluency. You can't be fluent with perspective if you just draw not enough. It's as simple as that. You can already know theory, you know enough theory, but you just don't apply it, you don't practice it, so you're very stiff. So when you deal with actual situation, you very easy to crumble, you know. It's just you get so much overwhelmed with this kind of amount of work you need to do. It is just kind of break your thinking process. You forget all these important basic principles. It's like, why? It seems I know all this stuff, but I cannot use it. Yeah, because you didn't practice. You skip all routine. You think you're smarter than this. You think like for you just watch some tutorial, it's enough. When in reality, no. It will be only useful if you will do routine, if you will do just simple kind of basic pattern drawings at least. So here same can do. Awesome. Vehicle can also draw. Так. You see, can do this kind of. And if I draw it, start from like paper. So when you see this kind of perspective, artists draw like this, nadir, zenith, z vanishing point. Now you know that this perspective grid, it's a part of this big perspective grid. Okay? You understand kind of like why it is this way. Which make you like really rare artist, really literate. You like really literate, you very clearly understand all this mechanics and structure, kind of university level knowledge for you here. So can do like this, and same can do like same can do horizontally. So, and I have like many sketchbooks with this kind of perspective. Sorry, let me show you. So this one, it's like this area in the perspective grid. So you see it's going like a Z vanishing point, and here it's going to X vanishing point. So it's curvilinear, this kind of wide angle. Or this one, so it's like little longer than 180 degree, kind of like 220 degree field of view, and it's this one, like maybe a little more narrow. So metro station. Okay, so you see X, X, Z, horizon line, and vertical lines, curved y-axis, vertical lines. So it's like have this, let's say, like a metro. Here, let's say. Wait, this and a little slip. It goes kind of this. Oh, hello, human. Yeah, your human atelier witness. I already tried and did this tutorial, and I was not happy. So it took some time to improve. Just kind of because sometimes it's just when you teach, there is so many stuff. Is you need to find way how to explain it. Also, you need to demonstrate your point. Yeah, it's a lot of, and sometimes when you prepare, you make all stuff, but then in the process you see like, I can do it better, like, and just start over. Same like teaching. Teaching is like any other skill. Like, you more you do, better you became. You just like improve your vision of a process, became more sharp, more efficient. um, and yeah, I have like my style of teaching. um, I'm not, I don't like to entertain kind of in a teaching process. I like it to be kind of Shaolin, right? It's a, for student, it's It's a rare opportunity. Find teacher, it's a luck. If you find teacher who can help you improve, you are very lucky, and you need to treat this opportunity like you been privileged, right? You need to use this opportunity. And when a teacher is like a clown, he need to like entertain you. It's kind of destroy full of this idea of tradition of education. Like I should not entertain you. Like fact I share with you knowledge, it's already a very great thing. This is how I treat it. Like I treat my teachers with a deep respect as like most important people in my life, you know. So I don't want them make me fun and happy and stuff. No, they use their time to explain me stuff. It's already a lot. It's already a lot. They have a lot of things to do. They, you know, it's like sometimes it's so annoying to tell these things again and again, or like tell to lazy students what they should to do, and like in 80% of cases they do nothing anyway. So you keep teaching, same with the coaching, you know. Like poor coaches, like, you know, like who teach martial arts, for example. Most of students, they're like not serious, and most of times they teach very basic level. As can imagine how boring it is. So that's why I make this YouTube, because I'm tired of teaching basic stuff. I want to. I also want to have some fun, you know, talk about kind of advanced and funny subjects, not this super basic amateur things. Так. So let's say here is like uh, metro inside. So just see how it works. Uh, so what else I forget to mention? Yeah. No, yeah, and we can talk about like 5 point perspective grid. It's like I say, it's like when we include all this sphere inside. So we have this like Kim Jong-gi kind of picture everybody talking about. So I include inside my picture frame all the structure, and this is 5 point perspective. If this was like wide angle and like curvilinear 3 point perspective, curvilinear 1 point, 2 point perspective, then this one, yeah, it's called like 5 point perspective. Yeah, because like I was often, you know, like you teach, you want to see result of your work. You want to see how students improve. And I was say like when I was working art studio, it's like I am like teacher is the most motivated for student to improve. Even students usually they're not so motivated. Because like, because I know, I see potential. I see he can be better. I see he can become actual artist. I see even like how fast he can improve, but only if he will do work, if he will do practice. And you're constantly kind of trying to force it, like make faster, help them improve faster. So you kind of like look how can you feed your student with information and train them so they will be ready for next level material, for next level information. And you kind of like growing your student like this, help him grow will be more correct, because it's also mostly it's very much depend on his effort. So you kind of help him to improve. You kind of nudging him towards change, right? And you like are very hungry for see him going next level, so you can provide him better information, so eventually he will be some very good artist with who you can talk about stuff you're really interested about, not about basic stuff, but you can talk about some really interesting things you discover or something like this, because you love the things. It's not just work for you. So you kind of growing your peer or colleague, and then most of them, like 80% usually, like maybe more, they on the way they will disappear. Somebody will like lost interest, change um, from drawing to something else, or they just never actually do it properly. They just like what is so boring for me, they just draw on your classes. They only draw on your class, and it can be like 1 hour in a week. It's like, I mean, he will never improve if he draw 1 hour in a week. Never. So it's like um some kind of like circle of hell for teacher, like at least for me, because it's just same stuff whole time, same stuff again and again, again and again. And so it's not about teaching anymore, it's just about having a good time. And in that case, like, it's a profanation, because like you go to work as a teacher, they call you teacher, you call yourself teacher, but nobody learn and nobody teach. People just having good time. So it's just a profanation. It's a kind of discreditation of devaluation of education itself. It's just kind of I don't like it in general. Just like, let's be clear, kind of, right? You're not artist, you're not art student. It's just a leisure for you. It's like people go like in all these art studios, people go to like draw Van Gogh style pictures. Like, oh, now I'm a real artist. I'm like a Van Gogh. Like, really, like Van Gogh, you will be like Van Gogh when you will hustle and struggle like a Van Gogh. This is what is mean to be artist like Van Gogh, not just use yellow oil painting and draw some sunflowers. It's so kind of it's kind of even disgusting, It's just really Так. It's something like, like people who cosplay army or police. It's like, okay, you're like above 18-year-old. Why you cosplay army? Just go to army. It's like, why are you doing that? It's weird. Like if you think this is cool, it's nice. Go to army. This why it exists is for people who kind of no, I mean it's not only for them, but generally, yeah, it's better for people who really like it and have enjoy this stuff. Kind of like this vibes. Let's yeah. So this stuff it's really will help your urban sketching a lot. So start also implement perspective grids like every time actually like every time you draw urban sketch every time do a perspective grid. Really really important because after some time you will even like will think like how can I draw before without perspective grids because it's like it make structure so much better like make like things very solid. Так. So yeah, so you see kind of fish fish eye 5 point perspective. So being like real artist, right? It's mean you can it's not just fun. It's also struggle. It's also a lot of hard work. It's sometimes it's pain in the ass. Sometimes you can get cold because you draw outdoors and like maybe you under rain or it's became like suddenly became cold. Also, often it's a problem with money because you cannot like sacrifice quality. So there might be a lot of clients who want you to draw some nasty, disgusting, or stupid stuff, and you just don't do it because you cannot go over your principles as artist. It's like kind of like I don't draw what I don't understand or I find um, distasteful, kind of right. Because as a definition of you as artist, you you kind of broadcasting aesthetics and culture and all this like um how to say it's like yeah quality kind of right because this everything we see around us all this in the aesthetic quality it's been made by artists. It's not just happen not just appear all pleasing all um, nice looking aspects around us in our environments is all artist work. So you as artist, you should have this taste. You should it should be like something you commit to, right? It's not just making like pretty stuff for sale, when there's like drawings, this like sprinkles. No, you kind of like you broadcast your um, you kind of actually teach people what is a good quality. Так, here goes complicated. That's why also it's important to study art history, like see all this um, like classical works, this like Greece, Renaissance. You need to know like a great artist. You need to see like real great work, great quality. So, and you also will see how all like contemporary artists, like this modern artists, like real modern artists, not this like fake art, and like real modern artists, they all like influenced by this are like historical art figures. It's like very like you will see kind of like a roots growing through time, right? So and when you know this history, when you know this culture, when you see where is roots and how this kind of ancestry happened, right? Then you also connect to it. So history, knowing history, make you also part of this history. Even if you will nobody ever will know it, you will be belong to it, and it's kind of more important than became famous or rich or something, right? It's just be real, be like kind of be part of something real, stand for something real. It's more important than convince like someone in something, because um these things will understand only specific people will understand. Like farther you go, smaller your circle of people who can understand what are you doing. So because it's like also should be some people who know art history, maybe philosophy, stuff like this. Так. So here I'm going like very wild. Here can be like some character, like a Frankenstein, very tall. Um, huh? No, you cannot go to Discord. I will. Так. Yeah, check later. I will renew link in posts on YouTube post. I will post this link for Discord. It should be work. So let's see right here. One kind of this. Okay, so kind of this. Remind again, do your homework. If you didn't do homework for a first tutorial, like perspective for beginners part 1, go to part 1 and do homework there, and then go to this tutorial and do homework for this tutorial. 20 drawings of this full structure of this curvilinear perspective. It's like 5-point perspective with some extra curves. Then you draw 20 this kind of paper sheets with a perspective grid and boxes. So you can draw like different type of like 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, just as many as you want. Just should be like 20 pieces of paper. You can do this one, and then you draw about 20 these frames. It can be like one piece of paper, or you can do like a small frame and draw perspective inside it, like as a part of a whole structure, just like you see. Like if you take this part or you take this part, right? But you start from frame. So 20 is this one. So total 60 drawings. So it might take you 1 week or 1 month. Like faster you do it, faster you will improve. That's it. Just don't uh, make it too fast. Also, do it mindfully. Make it in a speed so you can like really do properly draw every step. Don't rush it. You kind of memorize, and purpose is like repeat, 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 and like you repeat yourself. Like when you draw, it's okay, this is y-axis, this is horizon line, aka eye level, this is x vanishing point, this is second x vanishing point. In this kind of manner, you can even literally like speak for yourself what you're doing, in a kind of speak this sequence for yourself, because you need this like kind of like a poem, or like a hieroglyph, some kind of symbol. You need to memorize how to draw it. Yeah. So hope it's help you. Write in a comment, and yeah, write more comments. I read every comment, so 100% I will see it. If YouTube will not delete it, sometimes it seems they might disappear. Then you write again if it disappear. Yeah, but usually they all there, and I read everything is you write. So thank you very much.